Hey, what's up? What's up, vlog? Do you remember me? It's been a solid month since I've produced anything. Correction, it's been a solid month since I have published anything. I've actually recorded quite a few of these, and for whatever reason, whether it was a half-baked idea, whether it was at the end of the day not what I wanted or how I want to be perceived or what have you. For whatever reason, it just hasn't happened. I need to be better. I need to be more consistent. But life is life. I'm trying my best to, as I've mentioned before, juggle many different facets. I'm trying to do this vlog thing. I actually started a little podcast to kind of accompany this. But at the end of the day, I do run a business. I am a full-time dad. And I try to be the best husband I can be, and that includes carving out a bunch of hours a week for my wife that's dedicated to my wife and not just sitting there talking about business all the time. But I'm feeling refreshed. About a month ago, if you follow me on Instagram at Road Canwell Co, I was involved in a car accident, super minor. Just rear-ended someone, but the airbags deployed. My wife and my daughter were in the car, along with one of our really good friends. And I don't know if it was the airbag, but it just put me into a really weird place for about 2 weeks mentally. So I was out of it for about 2 weeks. Didn't really work. Played a lot of Madden. It was I don't know if you guys have ever seen Austin Powers at all, but there's the character Fat Bastard, and at the end of one of the movies, he goes, "I eat because I'm upset, and I'm upset because I eat. It's a vicious circle." Or sorry for my terrible Scottish accent, but that's how it was for me. I wasn't working, so I was in a funk. I was in a funk because I wasn't working, and then on top of everything else, it just created this really weird mental state, which for me the hardest part was sitting there knowing what I should do, but it was kind of like almost like an outer body experience. Like my current mind was in this weird funk, but like this other part of my mind wasn't in that funk, and it was like, Chris, you need to snap out of it. You need to get out of this place. It's not going to be good in the long run. I just couldn't do it. And then might have been the Monday morning. 2 weeks later, I was online, and I watched this video online, and it just inspired me to get up off my ass and get back to working, which was a good thing, because I ended up completing potentially a record for me amount of work in a very short window, and then just crushed last week on the business side. It was one of those things where I work with quite a few wineries in Gilroy, and so I was planning on making that trip last week, and then one of the wineries I work with in Paso Robles goes, "Hey, we need candles." So I reached out to my other wineries in Paso, and all of them basically said like, "Oh yeah, hey, we have a huge wine fest weekend this weekend, and then it's Memorial Day. We would love some candles." And I'm like, all right. And then on top of that, I had a art and wine festival in Livermore, which I absolutely crushed, which was awesome. But I don't know. It seems like the further I get away from the accident, which is kind of ironic that I'm talking about this on my phone, even though I have my little dash cam, I'm about the same spot where I got into my car accident. But the more I get back into work, the more I get back into the swing of things, the better I feel. Which for any of you out there struggling, all 6 of you that follow me on here, if you're in a mental rut, if you're in a mental funk, whether that's relationship, whether that's business, find a time that you are the happiest and go back there. So much easier said than done. But, looking back on the times I've been down, and then my most recent adventure with this feeling, that's what I did. I just forced myself to get back to work. And by getting back to work, I got back to me. Anyways, State of the Union address. Business is great. I'm actually on my way to meet with a marketing specialist, social media kind of guru lady. We did some work together a few weeks back. She did a photo shoot for my candles on her Instagram and her vlog or her blog. So now I'm actually headed there now to talk to her to see what she can do for the business beyond what she's already done. So I'm super excited for that. This week I'm laying low more or less. I have a huge order for Napa Valley Distillery that I'm working on. Actually, I can't say I'm working on it yet because I haven't cut my first glass. And then next week I'm going to give Vegas another shot. Due to my accident, I wasn't able to go, so I'm going to try to go this month for their First Fridays event. And then looking forward, I have Vegas, and then I have it's called the Craft Spirits Carnival. It's going to be in San Francisco. And then I have that the 9th and 10th. And then after that, got nothing. I don't have anything planned, whether in subconscious intentionally or what, but I haven't had the desire to do shows, to do these art and wine festivals, which has been such a catch-22 for my business because, I make good money on them. Usually I make good money. And I've acquired a bulk of my clientele from these shows, but they're also just a pain in the ass to do. So I've already scaled back significantly. I've probably done half the amount of shows this year as I did last year. And then but at the same time I need to keep feeding the wholesale beast, so got to figure out a good balance between the two. And then going back, if you guys are still watching this, I appreciate it. Is there anything you want to know from me, whether it's personal life, business life, how I've kind of gone from my hobby to side hustle to business now, and we've turned the corner. It's a pretty solid business model, or just anything. I like I've said before, I want to get some people on here and chit chat, and I've already talked to one awesome person that you should check out. Her name's Patricia, and she runs the Girl in the Valley podcast. You can find her on Instagram and iTunes. I think I might be able to coax her on here, and I might make a little guest appearance. We'll do a little dual promotion there. But if you want to come on here, just let me know. I'd love to have some guests, so it's just not me rambling in a car. But other than that, guys, I appreciate it. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the follows and the views. But until next time, deuces. I love you guys.